All right, so what's going on, guys? So I had to do this quick video because last night, at least in American time, right now it's daytime in Korea, Trump posted on Twitter for the first time in more than 2.5 years. Now, I just couldn't wait to do this video because what's happening is that the truth community, the truther community, right? If you follow Q, if you follow, Telegram, different posts, if you're on those quote-unquote deep dark forums and so many things, what's happening right now is that people are getting confirmation on what people have already known or have presumed to have known was the plan this whole time. The storm is here, all this stuff. Now, if it's your first time listening to me or just this whole idea of, man, what is going on with these guys that are continually voting or supposedly would want to vote for Trump, they're standing by Trump, they're delusional with their thinking of, the election is stolen, and all of this crazy like MAGA, alt-right, far-right type stuff. Ask yourself this question. More and more people, supposedly they're smart, supposedly they're, more than, middle class or lower middle class, all these guys, whether they're overt about it or they're closet, right? Meaning they're not going to show it, but they believe it. They believe that the election, the 2020 election, was stolen. They believe that something nefarious is going on with regards to this whole, globalist agenda, all these things, the questions that are being asked that a lot of people write off as conspiracy theory, these things are being brought to light and people are asking the right questions and they're researching. They're not just taking what they're being fed as being this propaganda and then just believing it. And so you have to ask yourself this question: what's really going on? What's really going on? And the reason that everybody's going crazy is because the thing about the Q movement or any other truth movement is that if you were there from the very beginning and you understand and realize what statistical probability is, if you understand and realize that certain things that Q, and I've followed Q for maybe only since 2020, but what the posts are saying, what he says, if you don't read the actual posts, if you don't really look at it deeply and then understand from that moment in time, how does Q know about certain truths that come out months, days, years later? That forum, that person has all of this insight that nobody else supposedly has. Some general once said that 800 people are in some military base or bunker somewhere helping with this whole operation, this whole military, if you want to call it psyops operation, whatever it is. But the point is that Q is not some stupid underground, basement guy that's there and just making all this stuff up. Q actually knows something. And so this is where you begin to ask questions as opposed to just because it's such a, taboo, forbidden topic, you don't want to dive into it. And so that's why I'm just going to, call them those weird QAnon people versus doing that, actually asking yourself a question and saying, what's really going on? Trump's Twitter tweet comes at a time, exactly at a time. And if you understand decode and stuff like that, for which it corresponds to a different post. And this corresponds to a post that if you look at the statistical probability of all these posts, that whether it's Trump, whether it's Dan Scavino, whether it's all these other, people, the military, they let something out. They tweet something, and then it corresponds, a timestamp or whatever it is, to something else. If that happens time and time again to a post that's relevant to what the Twitter post is, and by the post I mean the Q post, then you have to ask yourself this question of how is it that it's statistically improbable that this is some coincidence. It's not a coincidence. So this is where you start to ask yourself questions and go beyond this mode of believing what the media tells you, which is, no, all of that is conspiracy. No, all of that is just QAnon far right stuff, as opposed to waking up, removing yourself of all of this fog of war, and then going for it yourself, asking the question yourself and doing the research yourself. So this is where people are getting the epiphany, the realization. This is where people are going crazy, because if you do the research to look to Twitter, look to what's happening, the first arrests, all this stuff. I'm not going to get into decodes and Q. what I'm trying to get at here is that we're in a good time. We're in a time for which God is working, and it's coming to the limelight. All the stuff that have been the evil, wicked agendas of whoever it is, all of this is coming to light. The 2020 election is not going away. People are like, hey, just move on with it, move on with it. The Georgia stuff, all this stuff, it's still there. Trump missed out on this theater that's happening with the Republican debate. Trump, he posted his interview with Tucker Carlson, which got, I think, like 10 million views in the first 4 minutes. He posted it 5 minutes before the whole thing went live, or rather the Republican primary debate went live. And then I think at the time of this video, more than 250 million views. That's historic. So the popularity, the truth, the movement is with Trump. Trump and these guys. They're looking and they're analyzing, they're assessing, and they're getting to the truth. And so this is where we are right now, because the people have to be awakened, people have to know and realize and understand what's going on. And we're in a good place. So I just wanted to give you guys this quick encouraging word as I'm still here in Korea. I'll be back in America soon. But for now, just be excited, because it's all coming to a head. And God's winning this war. The White Hats are winning this war. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.